Hey everyone, welcome to Geeks Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
And we got news about the upcoming E3. We got our reviews on two movies, Deadpool 2 and Solo, a Star Wars story. Plus a number of quick hits, including Spawn is back in the headlines. We'll get back to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of have a lot of ground to cover. Come on. I think this is like the first time we've actually been able to do 2 episodes in the span of a month.
Yeah, I know.
And
life happens.
A while.
It happens. But first off, what are we drinking? Because we came across this. You've had this prior,
Monkey
right?
shoulder.
Yeah. Where did this come from?
My friend Drea. She is a bigger booze hound than we are. So every time she strolls into town, or much like the storm of a person she is, rolls in, we go buy booze, and like the first thing she always does is she'll hold up some random ass bottle and be like, "Have you had this before?" I've never even fucking heard of this before. And she's like, "All right, this is what we're doing." I mean, I'm always lucky because I get the leftovers because she lives in Utah, so she can't really transfer around with an open bottle.
So did you ever read what the name Monkey Shoulder means?
No.
A maltman's skill is demonstrated as he turns the malted barley by hand. Years ago, some maltmen would develop a strain injury known as monkey shoulder. Thankfully, the condition no longer exists. So it's literally someone making whiskey so much that he hurt his shoulder.
That's better than most of the people I know. They hurt their shoulders from jacking it too much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sucks to be you, Dom.
But this one's actually fairly...
What, he works out a lot.
That is...
He doesn't get a chance to favor one arm.
That is actually really nice and smooth. It's not really heavy. You're not getting really anything harsh in it.
No, but it's solid.
Yeah, it's a solid pick, and it's only like about $25-$30.
Yeah, when she last rolled into town, she got that and a bottle of 4 Roses.
Nice.
And I think I also picked up a giant handle of Winchester.
Winchester's always good, though.
It's my solid go-to.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm sad that my one of my wedding gifts is almost gone.
Not surprising.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get to all the news. We're getting close up to Gamers Paradise, aka E3, the Electronics Entertainment Expo, taking place.
It's the EDC of gaming conventions.
See, you can say that now because you've been to
yeah,
EDC.
that's why it took a while. I disappeared to the desert for a couple days.
How, before we go to E3, how was EDC?
It was a lot of fun.
It was, okay.
A lot of people, and I hate people, so it didn't work out too much for me.
You and crowds, yeah.
And I had like 2 bad panic attacks during there. But that's just because, again, a lot of people and loud music.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with a certain like decibel, but when I can physically feel it, and I'm just sitting there like, going, okay, this isn't good.
You don't have any respite from the sensory onslaught.
No, the one thing I mostly feel bad about is just cracking jokes the entire time to my buddy, our buddy Lauren, who he's gone to this thing a couple times. So again, I make very mean, sarcastic remarks, and he sits there and laughs, and it's like, fuck, am I that big of a dick? Am I just ruining this for him? Like, I think I even made the joke. I'm like, or maybe they have to have the music this loud. Because people have done so many drugs, their bodies or their hearts have probably stopped.
If they're keeping them alive.
So the loud thumping music is basically working like a defibrillator. They're like, the drugs are kicking in. Dun, dun, dun. Nope, still going.
That would explain, because I was watching the stream here, and one night there was a guy, probably in his mid-60s,
there's
up at the front saying, like, not your
people,
average teen on a t-shirt. I'm like, I can't imagine having that close to Soundwave, or the subs. Because, you know, when I work conventions, I'm around those all the time. And I do my best to try to stay away from them, because that
not
just...
gravitate towards them.
Yeah, exactly.
But even again, that's during your conventions where it's like for an hour at a time. EDC starts at 6 p.m. and stops at 7 a.m.
You watch the sunrise at the locations.
So, I mean, when you're there for 12 to 13 hours a day, and it's fucking nonstop.
But, I mean, some of the good things, I mean, obviously the lights and the pyrotechnics are impressive.
Yeah.
You were talking about the art stuff there that they have.
Yeah, they're like
well.
random like little art installation things all over the place. I mean, one of them looked like the interrogation droid from fucking Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, I remember seeing that and just going, what is this?
Although I do have to ask before we move on, you did a plur.
I did multiple plurs.
Explain to the kids out there what a plur is.
It is like a weird secret handshake. When I first got there, I asked about candy.
God damn, you weren't joking.
Sorry, I showed him the photo of the droid thingy. It was literally just a giant, weird electronic pyramid that shot fire.
Yes.
My coworkers were like, all right, bring me back some candy. Like, you want me to get you, like, some Skittles or something? What the fuck you mean? Like,
no, not that type of candy.
Literally, the kids at work had to explain this to me. And then they're like, no, it's the little bracelets that you get. Okay, cool. My first day there, or we're getting ready to all go. I asked one of the other guys there, Eddie, really nice kid, and he's like, "Oh, that's right. This is your first time. You don't have one. Is that what you're wearing?" Yeah. There's a lot of like grays and browns.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. He comes back and has like this like super giant like legit fucking looking thing that was awesome. And he's just like, do what I do. And he's just peace sign. Do it, Jason.
Yeah, all right.
It's basically like you go peace,
That's your goatee venture.
love, unity, and respect. And at that point, you're supposed to like roll the bracelet off one hand and onto the other.
At that point, I kind of expect a handcuff or something to come over.
The one he gave me basically was a giant handcuff. They call that docking, Jessica.
God, that was really a place. But overall, it was fun though.
Yeah.
It's not something you would go through every year, but you may go again in the future.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did it once. I mean, I feel bad because a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, what did you feel? What did everything else?" I'm like, I honestly, Lauren even said it best. Like, it's indescribable. That place really is. It's just one of those things.
It's a unique experience.
Aside from just saying the fuck.
Fair enough.
Like, dude, when I told Grandma about it because she asked and I showed her a bunch of photos.
She couldn't grasp what the heck was going on.
She made the comment at one point. It's like, there's no fucking way. Like in terms of her going. Like, that was her response.
But see, I can't imagine. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Anyways, we can do a whole episode just talking about that weird stuff. Let's talk about E3 real quick. So, starting off, we have the upcoming press conferences lined up. These are the big events that the big companies put on every year before the actual event starts. E3 takes place July 12th through the 14th. That is a Tuesday through Thursday, right in the middle of the week. And only recently was it actually open to the public, which is why it's always considered a trade event. So there's no point in having it on the weekend.
Is it still considered trade, though?
It's still considered a trade event, but they have started selling passes to the public. Now, they start at $250 a person for like the first every X amount of tickets. But once that's over, it jumps up to some ungodly amount. And they'll still sell out. I'm sure they will. I've been fortunate to go before in the past, and it is a blast. But man, it's kind of like EDC. Like, you've experienced this. It's kind of hard to really put into words exactly everything you've experienced. And it's one of those, would you keep on going back year after year? That's a lot.
Dude, I feel bad because there's been 2 years, many years ago. I was invited to go, but I didn't because I'm not in the industry. This is before they started doing that, opening off to public. I told you about my buddy Jim. I think you've met him, Jim Rivers, fucking biggest sweetheart, rad dude. But one year he's like, so you've never been? I'm not in the industry, Jim. I'm a fucking server at a Buffalo Wild Wings. No, sorry, at that point, I'm a server at a Red Robin. Okay? My job is selling smiling burgers and trying not to giggle when I ask people if they want some pink or no pink. And he's like, oh man, if you want to go, just let me know. I'm like, nah, man, I wouldn't appreciate it as much as someone else's you could probably take. And then every time he'd come back like that next week and be like, dude, I fucking wrecked.
Oh, yeah. No, it is insane because, the massive sensory overload experience about that, because you have all these booths where these companies will in some situations spend 7 figures on the set design for their area, and there is a 10-foot aisle between you and the next giant sensory overload experience going on. Especially, I think it's in the South Hall where you have Sony and Nintendo are right next to each other. Microsoft decided to pull back to the other hall. But even then, it's still a huge event. And you walk into these booths, like I remember EA, every time you walk into their booth, a huge 360-degree
dome
video
projection?
Going on non-stop. Probably some ungodly amount of power for the speakers going through everywhere. And, of course, in between all of that, you have people looking at all this spectacle. Then you have people trying to get to meetings, because that's where a lot of the business happens. And then you have people trying to put interviews on in the middle of it.
Booth sluts.
Yeah. That, they haven't had those... They stopped having those for quite a while.
Good.
Tecmo, I think, was the last straw. Back when they were promoting, I think it was...
Tecmo Bowl?
Tecmo is still a thing.
Tecmo Bowl? Come on. Tecmo Bowl 87.
But they were with Koei, I think it is. But back when they were promoting, I think it was Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 2.
Oh, Jesus, jiggle physics.
So they had a booth.
Wait, is that the one that we played on this?
That was the third one. Yeah, no, that was the fourth one, which I still have, and we'll have to play it again.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. we'll have to play it again.
The only fun part I had was basically like, oh, I took photos and made money. Cool, I'm gonna go lose it all in the casino for you.
And? Anyways. But the last time I went, they had a stage probably about 100 feet long. And they hired a bunch of models. They're probably a good 40 out there. Lined up, side by side, all the way down, all in nothing but the outfits from the game. All swimsuits, all mostly revealing. And this is to promote the video game. And I'm like, no, this is... If they bent over, this basically becomes porn at this point. So, they had to tone it down a bit. And now they still have entertainment stuff there. But it's definitely still a huge sensory overload. I mean, hell, even Square Enix has this giant video wall to playing everything from, their Final Fantasy remakes to the latest Kingdom Hearts trailer.
Yukari Taro, or whatever you pronounce her name. Simple and clean.
So it is fun, but we'll have...
you walk away, you won't hear
You know, she'll be
me
back
say,
for the third game.
Oh, baby. No?
And it's
I listened to that song on repeat for hours at a time when I was 15. Fucking.
And then there's all the remixes.
That's 15
and
years ago.
Yeah?
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I'm still playing through the first game right now.
Well, replaying, you played the first time.
Oh, yeah, I replayed it, yes.
That's what I'm saying, it's not...
Not a first time going through.
Yeah. I mean, I remember fucking buying... I had the manga for it.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. I think I still have, I think I have volumes 1, 2, and 4. It was cool because I could buy them, and, I had Jess that was sitting there the entire time,
Uh-huh.
You done with that volume yet? Yes. Yes, I am. Because you being into this, validates I'm not that nerdy. Reading a manga based off of a video game, based off of Disney and Square Enix.
Nothing wrong with that. I just can't wait till we move so I can actually unpack my manga collection and reread a bunch of stuff. Also, nerd. Yes, we know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I work at a place where it's moderately frowned upon, so I keep my mogwais hidden.
Until at night.
Dude, that was my favorite. I think I told you one time while I was at work, they had me climb up and change the clocks.
Right.
And take care of the fish tank that we had as well. But I had a shirt on like this, and fuck, I don't want to get the sleeves or anything jacked up while I did it. So it was I unbuttoned everything and then immediately opened my shirt like that to take it off. That was right as this girl was turning a corner and she just saw the Gizmo face freaking out, and she's like, "What the fuck was that?" My shirt scared her.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But anywhoozle.
Yeah, back to E3.
Actual E3 news.
Yeah, so we actually have the press conference lineup for this year. Let's go through it real quick. It goes from Saturday, June 9th, all the way till Wednesday, June 13th, depending on which time zone you're in. Starting off, we have EA, then you have Microsoft and Bethesda on day 2 on Sunday. Mondays usually have most of the major press conferences together. You have Square Enix in the morning, followed by Ubisoft, which is very entertaining up until last year because they used to have Aisha Tyler host it.
Yeah.
And she was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Followed by the PC Gaming Show, which is, I don't know, maybe the least viewed.
Gabe Newell coming out and saying Half-Life 3 is not happening?
Yeah, who knows what's happening with that. Half-Life 3, sometime.
Coming never. But how about our Steam sale where we're going to steal all your money anyways?
Yeah, how many times you buy a game, it's that's a great deal. Are you going to play it? I got a backlog of 85 games I haven't played yet.
Yeah, everyone I know who has Steam, they're like, I need to play that one game. Which one? I don't know. It's one of the 80 that I bought.
Yeah. The usual wrap up end of the night for Monday night is Sony, the night before the actually opening of the convention. And of course Nintendo. Nintendo used to do huge presentations like Microsoft and Sony, but
then they fucked off and got their own convention.
They started doing their own stuff here and there, and they wanted to find a way to probably one, cut costs, and two.
But no, didn't they straight up pull a Disney with D23? They're like, fuck you, we'll do our own convention.
No.
With blackjack and hookers.
That'd be amazing. But no, they decided to do a little more hands-on and probably cheaper. Because one, they know that all the fans want to actually play their games. So they usually team up with Best Buy, create these kiosks at a number of their locations, and basically say, here's a taste so you can actually play some of these stuff we're demoing out here for E3 for the first time.
Yeah, because they wanted to make it more for the common man.
Right. But for their presentation, their huge press conference, over the past few years, they've actually just done a pre-recorded video that they just play at 9 a.m. the day of the convention opening, and then
they still have their booth, so it's nothing.
But then allowed everybody to go to their enormous booth.
Yeah.
more often than not, it's a collection of several games that they're trying to showcase at the point across all the different platforms. Last year, though, 99% of it was all Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, that was their...
And their booth was impressive. Oh, 2 years ago, sorry. That was impressive as hell. Because last year, their big thing was Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But they always do this great grand thing.
Well, Breath of the Wild, that was the one they needed to be like, hey...
This is the system seller, which makes sense.
Look at my dick.
Yeah, basically.
Because that was showing off visually the capabilities of the Switch.
Of course, it was funny, though, that with all these sales numbers for the first, I think it was like 3 or 4 months, they sold more copies of the game than they did there were Switches available in the United States. Because they were back-ordered so much. People were like, I'm going to buy this game. And then later on, I'm going to go pre-record this, I'm going to go buy a Switch. Well, they went in such high demand that they sold out so fast that Nintendo couldn't keep up with the production. So there was more people buying the games, waiting for their Switch to be shipped to them. So they just had the game just sitting there.
Oh, so they eventually did catch up.
No, they eventually did catch up.
Okay.
But for a while, they were actually outselling more games than there was the console.
Gorgeous fucking game.
Oh, God, yeah, it is. I put almost 200 hours in there. I haven't done the DLC yet, so that's probably another 50 hours at least.
I just like that we called it. Like, the game's been out for a little over a day now. I know when people have already speedrun and beaten the game. 2 guys.
2 guys, yeah. It was we can talk all about that game, but we can move on from there. Speaking of Nintendo, apparently it's been rumored, leaked out there already, that of the lineup for Nintendo's booth at E3 this year. And I'm really hoping a lot of this stuff is actually true. Because, I mean, you agree, it looks impressive, this lineup. This was posted either like on 4chan or Reddit, one of those sites. Looking at the what this is saying, it's called E3 Showroom Instruction, internal use only. There's an intro trailer featuring a number of games, including Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Fighters as they're calling it, a couple sports games, Octopath Traveler, which I cannot wait, the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is, yes, coming to the Switch.
I already own it.
Wolfenstein 2, and a couple others. But we can go break this down a little farther. So we have things like Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. They've already announced that.
That thing I'm intrigued by, it's Bandai Namco, but it's not by HAL Laboratories.
Again, that's why people are wondering, like, is this fake? Is this real? But I think this...
Well, HAL's already said they were done. I don't even think they did the one for Wii U.
Oh, yeah. I think that was separate. And we'll have to follow up with that. You have Punch-Out! Become the champion, which makes sense because ARMS was such a big hit for Nintendo that...
I was more or less thinking they kind of have to because Little Mac was a character for the latest Smash Bros.
That's true, but the fact that with ARMS you are boxing basically in its own Nintendo way, you can use this.
But you know what I mean? Like it's reestablishing characters that they already have.
True.
They don't have to rely on the same force. They don't get fatigued.
That's very true. What else do we have here? Metroid
Fucking
Prime
think about
Renegade.
Pit.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Remember, Pit disappeared off the face of the earth. His last game, I think, was on NES.
Mm-hmm.
Then they fucking brought him back for Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately were releasing the Kid Icarus games.
Well, something like Smash Brothers is a unique type of game where you have so many different IPs brought together for this game. And you played hours and hours and hours of these previous incarnations.
Oh, yeah. It would get to the point where for Melee, I could unlock everything in the span of like a day and a half.
Right.
And that's only because the quickest way to unlock Mewtwo is play a game for 24 hours.
Jesus.
It's like if you accumulate 24 hours worth of game
I thought it was
time.
like it said like from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. you have to play nonstop.
No. It's like if you play like versus, like just you and a buddy, if you accumulate 24 hours worth of time, he pops up.
Ah, okay.
It's either that or like play over 100 different matches.
Okay.
So what I would do is like I would start a match like infinite time, and then I would just go to school and just leave it playing constantly.
That's actually pretty smart.
Come back, play my own business, and keep going, and then it's like, all right, time to go.
So within like 3 days, you've already racked up
about a day and a half. Because again, all right, time to go to bed. Unlimited Melee and play. TV off.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
I
had that shit down.
Damn. So you can be from almost the same way with this one when this comes out.
Maybe.
So, what else we have here? Metroid Prime Renegade, which they did a teaser for that. Was it last year or another Nintendo Direct event, as they call it.
Yeah, I remember
online.
they just kind of like it's a no. Yeah, it was
It was
something.
like, Metroid 4 coming soon, and that's all we got.
I guess we were seeing it online. They're like Metroid 4.
And
Welcome.
The industry or the internet lost their shit for that.
Yeah.
So, we also have Splatoon 2, the Octo expansion, which they've already announced in T. So this is just basically a demo.
Yeah, because that was one of the ones they initially announced. Remember when the Switch first came out?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, here's our plan for the next year and a half.
Yes, and they were pretty upfront with all of that. Now we're finally going to be able to play that, this year.
Well, they showed part of it a couple months back.
Yes, they did.
When they did their business with like the tennis one, Splatoon, and Smash Bros.
Yes. So most of this we've already know, and a couple of these other ones were like, okay, this could be really good. Fire Emblem Memories. I have yet to play any of the Fire Emblem games, but I keep on hearing they're amazing. So I'll get around to it eventually. We're not any good.
I have no idea. He liked them.
Okay.
They were too strategy-ish for me.
I was curious about this one though. Fallout 3 Anniversary. Yes, this year's the 20th anniversary. So it's one of those like, are they just remaking it for the Switch, or is this part of to hide the recently announced Fallout 76?
All of the above.
You think all the above?
Yeah.
All right.
Because think about it, it builds interest for Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
It gives people who never had a chance to play Fallout 3 a chance to play Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And it'll probably give them a chance to use whatever bullshit mechanic for the Switch that you can use in Fallout 3.
Good point. Moving on, Yoshi's Flipping Island. It's a Yoshi game.
I know nothing about it.
It should be fun. Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. These already were announced. Go? We'll talk about those in a moment. F-Zero SX. I want another F-Zero game.
Because I think the last one was for what? The GameCube?
The GameCube.
Because I remember playing the crap out of that one. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. And remember, they had the arcade version, too.
But it was the same thing, just it was like a weird port.
No, there was a cool thing about it, though, is that if you brought your GameCube save card with it, you plugged it into it, not only would you play any characters or rides that you actually create in your version, but you would also, once you connect it and then go back to your GameCube, it unlocks like 2 new levels.
Yeah, it did a lot, I remember that.
Yeah, that was really cool, and I spent way too much money on that game.
Fucking Big Blue is stuck in my head now.
Fair enough. Fortnite, this game is everywhere
don't give a shit
right
about
now.
Fortnite.
I don't care. It's to come here and...
I'm not a dude, bro. Fucking next.
Yeah. Star Fox Lilat System. This is by Retro Studios, who actually created the Metroid Prime game out in Dallas or Austin. One of the Texas.
One of the Texas.
One of the Texas. That's
only the biggest fucking state in the country.
Doesn't matter.
Wait, is it? Or is Alaska bigger?
I don't know.
Jess?
Someone teach me high school geography.
Alaska or Texas? Which one's bigger?
There we go. Alaska.
No, that's because I remember they're both gigantic as shit. But people keep forgetting about Alaska because it's where you can see Russia from your front yard.
Mm.
What? Still relevant?
Yes. Let's say yes. Quick side note: we also have someone who apparently it's probably a fake as well, but they leaked the Sony PlayStation press conference lineup. Aside from the game's mashup trailer at the beginning, I'm gonna run through this very quickly. Days Gone launch trailer, The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay, Splinter Cell Apocalypse trailer, Devil May Cry 5 gameplay trailer, which, as you said, they probably realized that DMC was a failure and a mistake.
No one liked DMC.
I don't think anyone really did. I played the demo and I went, I'm good. I couldn't get beyond that. Yakuza 2 Kiwami trailer. I've only played Yakuza, or one of the 6 Yakuza games.
None of my friends were that big of a weeb, so we never played that. You're on your own for that one.
That's fine. I'm looking forward to this, if this is true. Shenmue 3, we finally get to see some gameplay. I was a big fan of Shenmue 1 and 2. To see actual gameplay would be great.
Well, that would have been rumored for a while. Like, didn't they come out and
No, 2 years ago, they actually came out during E3.
Yeah.
During their Sony press conference, and basically said, cool, here's Yu Suzuki. We're going to make 3. But to help us out start it, we want you to join the Kickstarter for it.
Yeah.
And I got a boatload of people to sign up for it and made a few $1 million off of it.
Yeah.
And then Sony turned around on top of that and said, here's a few, like 20, 30, $40 million more on top of that to make it. So now we're finally seeing what he's been doing with all his time and money.
Okay, because I was supposed to say, I remember they did like a GoFundMe thing.
Yes.
But I don't remember ever hearing what came about of that.
We're going to find out hopefully at E3.
If this is real.
If this is real, yes. Backwards compatibility. Play PS2 and PS3 games on the PS4.
That's what struck me as like, oh, I don't think this is real.
They already had the streaming games option for it, because I have a stack of PS2 and PS3 games that one of the reasons why I keep my PS3 is because it's not playable on the PS4, and I don't want to do the whole online thing where, hey, look, I insert the disc into the PS4, but in reality, it's just going to stream it, so the game is actually the actual physical disc is worthless, and then you get lag and everything else happening with that. Just let me play the game. If this turns around to become actual, let me put the disc in and play,
Seems too
I'd be
good
happy.
to be true. That's why.
I would love it, but yeah, you're very true. This is pretty much already confirmed. Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima has been pushing this for years now, and
Everyone else is trying to jump ship from Walking Dead. Let Norman Reedus have his.
he just signed a huge deal to stay with Walking Dead for like 4 more seasons or something like that.
Yeah, because Andrew Lincoln's done.
Yes, he is.
That other chick, fucking Martha Wayne, she's done.
Martha.
Why did you say that name?
But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what this game is actually all about, because all we've gotten is like 3 trailers. And people have dissected left, right, and center.
We had Ghost Baby and Norman Reedus' ass. We have nothing. Don't try to make it seem like they're trailers or something.
I'm looking forward to it regardless. Resident Evil 2 Remake, Vanquish 2, Spyro Reignited, Kingdom Hearts 3 launch trailer, Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay, please be good. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Remake, Marvel's Spider-Man new gameplay and trailer.
I'm actually excited for that game. Like, I want there to be a skin where it's not the ultimate suit.
When they showed it last year, I was like, okay. It doesn't hit me just yet. This has to wow me.
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for that one asshole to be like, man, it looks as good as Spider-Man 2, the movie, the game. Shut the fuck up.
The only good part about that one was the fact that you had, who was it that was doing the,
Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, having Bruce Campbell on there with the tutorial level.
I mean the guy who did that for both games?
Was he for the first one too?
Yup.
All right. And of course, the last one that'll make everyone lose their mind: Final Fantasy VII Remake launch trailer,
Again,
which they've been
too
teasing
good to
for
be true.
what, 15 years now? Some ridiculous lineup.
Not 15 years. But they did start it when the PS3 came out.
Yeah. It was forever. All right. We'll go through all that. We'll find out within 2 weeks what everything's going to be at anyway, so we'll have to see. Speaking of some of the games that have already been announced, let's talk briefly about Pokemon Let's Go. We have 2 games of this, or 2 variants of this, one for Pikachu, one for Eevee. This actually teams up with, what's called the Pokemon Go game, in terms of you can actually transfer Pokemon that you had from playing Pokemon Go that you've captured into the Switch game itself. You can't do it the other way around. This is essentially a remake of Pokemon Yellow. And this is not the only Pokemon game where that's coming out. There's another one that's came out just recently. It was for free, like Pokemon Polygon or something like that. I haven't heard much about it. It's actually out on Switch. I don't intend to really download it. But there's actually another brand new standalone Pokemon game coming out late next year.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so this one will basically get everybody out there and enjoy. If you enjoyed Pokemon Go, you'll enjoy the added features that will be in.
Well, yeah,
because
this is supposed to be like you could take the fucking tablet-y bit out. Like
you only
can
need one controller to play it. But if you have a second controller and another person, you can actually do 2-player on there.
No, I mean like you could use the screen like you would for like it's meant to, you can go outside and do things.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't work like that. This is a standalone game that's separate from Pokemon Go. They get the same Pokemon Go mechanics, but you're on a console game.
Sounds annoying.
Yeah, so you can't use. There's no GPS on it. You can't go out and use that. But it's Pokemon Yellow integrating some of the concepts of Pokemon Go. It'll make a boatload of money. It's Nintendo.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's Pokemon. What else we have here? Yes, Fallout 76 was announced with a teaser trailer. They didn't tell us pretty much anything about what the game is. Sources are stating multiple things, including it's not a traditional single-player game as most the previous incarnations have been. This is going to be a multiplayer online game, kind of like online survival RPGs, like DayZ, Rust, things of that nature, but within the Fallout universe. So people will go crazy for it. Maybe it's a bunker building.
But they already did that game. I don't think that's going to be that.
Yeah. So that's coming out. Have you ever played any of the Fallout games?
Yeah.
Have you?
New Vegas.
Everybody wants a remake of New Vegas that I've talked to. I've yet to play New Vegas. I have it. I have the game. I just haven't played it yet.
Fantastic game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me phrase it. I've played the entire game, but not in the correct order.
Explain that.
Remember when I used to test for Obsidian?
Yes. Oh.
I technically played the game before it came out, and I played all of it.
Oh,
But the
okay.
problem is, it's like you're gonna play this level and you need to do this, 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 and this, and try to
Game
do this.
tester mentality. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, now you're gonna play the beginning of the game. Okay, now you're gonna play the ending of the game. Word?
All right.
Like I was all over the place,
All
but
over the
technically
place.
I played all of it.
Okay, fair enough.
I love the fact that there's a mod for New Vegas where you could technically play as the Doctor.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, it maxes out speech, and hacking or technology or something like that.
Okay.
And the point is, you can't kill anybody.
Oh, I like that. Though I did hear that you can also drop your IQ level to that of a special needs person.
But the whole point of that is like you literally run around with a screwdriver, and because one of the outfits or mods, is a suit, or sorry, a brown pinstripe suit. So literally,
All right,
you're
fair
playing
enough.
Fallout New Vegas as the 10th
As
Doctor.
the 10th Doctor. That could be fun.
And the whole point is like you talk your way out of situations as opposed to actually fighting or shooting, and you get around because your lock picking is fucking retarded. So literally, it's like something's locked, screwdriver, and we're in.
Wow. Okay, I may have to check that one out.
Yeah, because it was lock picking, technology, and speech. Those three are all maxed out.
That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. But yeah, we'll find out more information about Fallout 76 at E3 press conference on June 10th.
Yeah, all of this is like 90% of this is speculatory.
Yeah.
We're basically just running off a bunch of small tidbits of information
here
and just
and there.
going nuts.
There was a leak earlier today that Ubisoft decided to go around and say, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, this is actually real. We're confirming this." Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is actually going to be based in ancient Greece. This could be fun.
We'll see.
I mean, ancient Greece is. I've read a lot of history books about ancient Greece, and not to mention we talk about the mythology surrounding all the Greek gods.
Well, dude, I haven't played one since the first hour and a half of Black Flag.
Oh, the ship one, right?
Pirate one, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, that was Assassin's Creed 4.
Oof. Yeah.
Because I played 3 and thought it was fucking terrible. Like, it was god-awful.
That's not
Did you ever
good.
play 3?
No, I
Good
never
man.
played 3.
That was one of those games I went and bought at midnight.
When
And I went and paid for, like,
You paid
the
for it.
$100 version that comes with all the goodies.
I remember buying.
You've seen the flag in my living room.
Oh yeah,
big
that's
colonial
where
flag.
you got it from.
Yeah, that's what it came with.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like, it came with that, the belt buckle, the fucking small plastic... The official statue of Connor. It's literally... not Connor, whatever.
Yeah.
It was like... It turns out it was like this giant hunk of plastic that was just a piece of shit. And, like, the belt buckle that was kind of cool. And the flag, again, I expected it to be some dinky thing like this big, not that giant fucking actual flag.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played that game. That was one of those games. I, like, when I picked it up, stopped at a 7-Eleven, bought, like, a bunch of, like, microwave pizzas and, like, Twinkies and, like, 5 things of Mountain Dew and some, I think, like, a Red Bull. I was one of those things I'm like, fucking doing this.
All of it. Yes.
Like, I have 3 days off. I'm gonna do this, bitch. After day 1.5, and I finally beat the game. And I'm like, what the shit is this? It turns to fucking Farmville at one point.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Because, like, there's the main story. First off, you spend the first... that game's dog shit. I'll leave it at that. I don't
right.
need to go into a bigger tangent.
I did have to laugh though that you bring up Assassin's Creed 3 because the last video card that I bought, and I really do need to buy another one eventually, was a NVIDIA GeForce 560 Ti. You guys can laugh at it. It's like 5-6 generations old at this point. And it came with a free copy of Assassin's Creed 3. Came home, coveted the damn thing, because I paid like $450, $500 for it at the time. Because I was like, this is going to last me years. And it did. And it came with a free copy. So I downloaded it thinking, okay, cool. The next day, after I get back from work, I'm going to go ahead and sit down and play this game. Never did. Sat on my computer for I think a year and a half before I said, I'm never going to play it, and deleted it. And then I installed Thief. And I play that. But yeah, so we'll have more information about Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the Ubisoft press
We know it
conference
involves
at
the
E3.
Greeks.
That's about it. There's still the oft-rumored Superman video game. I mean, no one really wants to bring back Superman 64 unless someone's trying to speed run it through.
Well, that was made as a joke.
Which one? Superman
64.
And the fact that it actually made it and went through everything.
No, because the whole point of 64, they were told, like, the company that had it, they were told they had to make the game, but at the same time, DC kept fucking them over because they didn't want that game made. So literally at a basically sheer force of just like stubbornness, that game got made.
And it earns its reputation as one of the worst games ever
Basically,
made.
it was the studio saying, we're going to make this, we're going to make this. DC going, no, you need to try to do this instead. Fine. We're going to make a giant heaping turd, and we're going to release it. And it's going to have Superman's name all over it. Because guess what? That's what you've already paid us to do. Mm-hmm. So if you want, we can make a good game. If you want to let us do that.
But if you don't, it's going to be a steaming hot
If you're
going to
keep sandbagging us and being bags of shit, DC, we're going to release the worst video game ever made. And it's going to have your boy all over the fucking cover. Try and stop us.
Yeah.
And it was both sides calling each other's bluff until it was actually made.
And it was so bad. I only played it briefly once, and I was like, I couldn't. No way. At the Summer Games Done Quick, which is a charity stream that happens every summer, there's always someone who does a Superman 64 speedrun. And I watched it, I'm like, how did you have the patience to go through this?
No idea.
To know this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyways, no new rumors are flying that a Superman video game is in the works from Warner Brothers and Rocksteady.
But Rocksteady saved Batman with Arkham.
That they did. But Batman is, to me, is superior to Superman.
It's a superior character in terms of storytelling. But in terms of gameplay and mechanics, who's to say they can't make something fun of Superman?
That I would love to see it. Prove me wrong. I would love them to prove me wrong. But
I think it's possible.
But someone who is
exactly have the
nigh
highest
invincible
hopes.
and his power is whatever the comic needed him to do at the time.
It's not that simple. At least not in video game terms.
I want to see what you can do with someone as powerful as Superman.
We've all had played as characters who are supposedly invincible, and we've all played as them in video games.
Yes, but in brief spats here and there. This is an entire game turned into an invincible superhero.
It's also Superman. You have to remember, this is a guy who died because he thought he could.
He also destroyed the concept of death in comics, but that's a whole other story to talk about.
No, it really is. That's the death of Superman. It's literally he died because he thought he could, and then killed death in comic books. But again, that's the character, though.
Yeah.
It's still possible.
It's possible. We'll see. We are less than 2 weeks away. The Microsoft press conference is rumored to have gameplay footage of a Superman video game that'll be shown off on an Xbox One X console. So, according to the rumor, the footage will reveal Brainiac attacking Metropolis with the Man of Steel being weakened as a result of the battle.
You know how I know it's going to be a hot shit game? You just had to name drop Xbox.
Yeah.
This game is going to be the shit.
My
I tell you.
Xbox One
Shit's
going to
come out
there.
Xbox One. It's going to be the prank main thing at the press conference. It's your boy, Man of Steel,
Oh, God.
Mr. Krypton, coming at you.
We'll have to see what happens
Oh my
with this
God.
one. Oh,
It
Jesus.
was too great.
Oh, jeez. All right. Let's get away from E3 because we'll be talking about it a lot over the next few weeks. So let's get to our top stories as we're 30 plus minutes and already into our episode. We saw 2 movies over the weekend. We finally saw Deadpool
Over the weekend,
2.
we saw them the same day.
Okay, fine. Same day. Double feature. We saw Deadpool 2 and Solo, a Star Wars story. Let's start with Deadpool 2. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was everything I was looking for from the first movie to move on from it. So it had all the laughs. It still surprised me in a few points.
Yeah.
It elicited a lot more laughs than I was expecting. Had some nice cameos that was a great add-on, nice touch.
The only thing I didn't like about the movie was the fucking kid.
I agree. The kid was annoying and a bit of an ass. The whole thing was... let's break it down. Cable had his family killed by this kid who grew up. So he decides to go back in time to kill the kid again.
Basically the whole thing of let's go back in time and kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Essentially the same thing.
Yes.
Cable's family was destroyed by this one douchebag. Cable decides he's going to go back in time and snuff him out when he's a kid.
Yes. But then you have Deadpool, who has killed countless people. It's all of a sudden to tell a kid that killing the guy who harmed him is the wrong move to do.
Because it's a
biggest
slippery
hypocrite in the
slope.
world.
Well, the thing is, Deadpool doesn't kill because he gets paid to do it, and he kills bad people.
There were a few times
He's
where he
not
really
just
wasn't.
killing other people for the sake of killing other people.
In this movie, no, you are correct. He always had a purpose and an end game for a lot of that stuff.
The thing is, he kills. That's why he's not a hero.
Yes.
But he's an anti-hero because he's killing the bad guys. That's how he gets away with it.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, even though he's probably one of the most self-referential fourth wall-breaking characters we've seen in a movie. I mean, it's been done numerous times before, but they also added so many tropes from so many other movies in this, including the whole thing. Hey, look, the love interest from the first movie, we're gonna kill her before you even get to the credits.
Well, I mean, I feel like that also hindered it because I mean, I feel bad. A friend of mine, Becca actually, she told me that she saw it and she's like, it's not good. Really, you didn't like it?
Wow.
That's just like fuck. She has decent-ish taste. We usually agree on like 90% of the things. And then after seeing it, I understood. If you don't know pop culture references like we do,
it completely flies over your head.
You're gonna be so lost and feel left out.
That's also Deadpool in a nutshell, though.
But again, yeah. I mean, think about it. After this movie, even Dom admitted, Jordan, you're more Deadpool than I am, and I can admit that now. I'm sorry it's taken you 5-6 years to realize that. I'm sorry you don't have a fond appreciation of, pop culture references, puns.
All the puns.
And fucking B. Arthur. What do you have against Dorothy's? Dorothy's the shit.
I mean, the action was fun. There was a ton of laughs. I love what they did with the X-Force.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, yes, obviously spoilers everywhere. If you haven't seen these movies, you probably shouldn't watch this episode. But anyways,
we're not even getting that big into it. Like, we're not explaining anything specifically.
That's true. They had multiple cameos in there. I enjoyed it's everywhere, so we can say it now. All the X-Men, from not from First Class, but it was First Class. Okay, yeah. Showed up in like a half a second scene. That was great. Some additional characters they had come out at the end were enjoyable. I definitely think probably the biggest laugh that I got was everything in the credits sequences.
Yeah.
That was it was so meta at the point. It was still hilarious
But that's Deadpool.
Yeah. Go see it online. If you have, go read it online or go see the movie.
Don't see it online. Just go see the movie. Pay for it.
Yeah, we did.
Up. Yeah. Pay for something that you enjoy.
Yeah. Overall, would you go see it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, the only thing I didn't like was that little shit who's basically a little boy version of Rebel Wilson. Fucking hate Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
And that's what that boy was.
Yeah, just with superpowers.
A small little Australian cunt who I wish wasn't on the screen.
Most reviews that I've come across say the exact same thing. The annoying.
I'm even more proud if I called him Australian then. You know what New Zealanders hate more than being from New Zealand?
Being
called Australia. That kid is the worst.
I like Josh Brolin as Cable. I think he was great as that. I prefer him more as Thanos, but he still enjoyed it.
Elf 3 was the only thing worse.
We'll get to that in a second. From Solo, we'll explain that in a second. So, overall, good movie.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. We'll go see it again. You guys should definitely go see it.
It'll be one of those fucking movies I probably end up buying.
Yeah. I mean, I have the first one on Blu right there. I'll put it right next to it.
I have it somewhere.
So, let's talk about the second movie. Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Well, Solo was technically the first. We saw Solo first, then Deadpool.
Well, we're talking about in terms of reviews
doing right now. What we're doing. But yeah, Solo was good.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It had everything that I was expecting from this movie. The fact that it is a prequel, yes, Jess, because it is a prequel, you already know what's going to happen for the most part. So, with everything that happened in this movie, you already had most of the lore from Han Solo's past.
But they played fast and loose because they had to.
They really had to. All that Enric, I forget how to say his last name. I think he did a good solo. I have to say that I really enjoyed Lando. I think that worked really well. I did have to laugh though about the ridiculously stupid online controversy that was erupted, saying that from Lawrence Kasdan? That
sure.
said it. That Lando is pansexual. I'm like, he's in space. He's gonna hit on everybody. That's all he's done, even in the original movies.
Is pansexual where you were sexy with everything?
Everything.
I thought pansexual was like you don't care about gender. You're just like, I'm in.
That's
like you don't see gender. You're just like,
you don't see. Yeah, and Lando takes another level by saying he doesn't care about what species you are either.
Okay.
That didn't matter whatsoever.
No, and
that character has always hit on everything in the universe.
Did you see when someone actually asked Donald Glover about it? He's like, man, you're in space. Why wouldn't you want to try to have sex with everything?
Why would you limit yourself to one species out there? Yeah. But Donald Glover, I think, was great in that role. Yeah. I loved Chewie. What's not to love about Chewie? Let's get to the one character that we all universally hate.
L3?
L3 was L337, right?
I think so, yeah.
Leet, yeah. God, that I had to laugh though because it came across to me like a couple hours after watching it. But these are essentially prequels to everything we've seen before in the Star Wars canon, and yet some of these droids that come out, K250 and now L337, are more articulate and more advanced than everything else you've seen in the Star Wars universe, and they're prior to all the other characters out there.
I think the problem was that the Alan Tudyk droid was such a hit in Rogue One. Probably my favorite part from Rogue One. I'm like, hey, let's add to that. What if we do like a girl version? Right?
Okay, yeah, just does make a point because Alan Tudyk's character K250 in Rogue One, so popular. Yeah, they would make a female character
I kept calling him KRS-One.
KRS-One.
Yeah, Alan
But-
Tudyk. Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, this character was like always for robot equal rights and everything. Oh, it was. If you said that a couple times and said she had her mind of her own, okay, fine, I would have been done with it. But they hammered that how many times throughout the film? Way too many times.
I cheered when she died.
Yes,
yeah,
I know you
did.
cheered. I know you cheered when
Well,
she
you
died.
didn't cheer. You let out one of those. Does that count as string?
Yes.
All right.
But aside from that character,
The worst.
I think it worked
Because
fine.
Dom just kept referring to her as the
Feminism bot?
the Tumblr posting social justice warrior. So
Yeah.
he's like, one of those type that post on Tumblr, an SJW, a what? A social justice warrior. Yeah. How did you know that word?
Oh.
I dated one.
Oh. Oh, the stories. But going back to the movie. So, you see how Han Solo
It's an
won.
origin story.
Yeah.
And it's
For everything that has been told through canon throughout the years.
it was the Iron Man 1 of Star Wars movies. It was the first one to come out and went, we don't have to be dark and serious. We can have fun.
It was lighthearted for most of the movie. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about too hard about the stakes because I was just enjoying what was presented in front of me. I mean, yes, there were stakes here and there, and they tried to make a story progress throughout it, but overall, it was just like kick back with some popcorn and enjoy this ride. You've heard about all this, now you're finally going to see it. And, see Han Solo first meet up with Chewie when they
Explains
first
the fucking dice in the fucking window.
the dice in the window, the fact that they were the first meet up with the Millennium Falcon and Lando, the fact that they were going to make the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. All of that was explained in one movie. I was happy with it. I was completely
Fan
happy
service
with
the movie.
But I think fan service
done.
done well. I think it was a solid movie.
Yeah, we're both gushing over the same things. Like, the movie was fantastic.
Yes, it was. And now a lot of people online are saying, oh, it didn't do well at the box office, and Disney needs to rethink their ideas about how to move forward with these spin-off films.
They just
But
getting rid of
honestly,
Kathleen Kennedy already?
the latest poll predictions regarding the box office moving forward is actually strong. This thing is going to make money.
No,
It's gonna
I
make
think it's going to be Guardians.
You think it's going to be Guardians? Where it started off weak and just take off to a phenomenon?
Yeah, I think it'll start out slow, and then once word of mouth actually gets out that, no, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of movies, they'll have a strong first weekend, and then they'll drop, their box office will
Batman
drop
v
like
Soups.
80-90% the following weekend. We had $103 million opening weekend domestic for Solo, and they're already looking at approximately about $60-70 million for the second weekend. That's a solid movie. It's going to make money.
Yeah.
It's going to stay out there for a long time. And it was great to see what Ron Howard has handled himself online with all of this. You would think with all the negative press and the negative tweets out there about everything, he would either retreat from social media
No,
or
he just kept doing his thing.
Yeah, he kept doing this thing. He would reply publicly to tweets of people saying they loved it, and people who were actually critical of the movie. He actually replied to them saying, okay, I can see where you're coming from. We also did this, and this, but still thank you very much for seeing the movie. A class act. That's the way it should be going from
Are you
that
that
point.
surprised from Opie?
No, I'm not, but it's
Look who raised him. Andy Griffith.
fair enough.
He knows how
But
to keep it
To go but to go from
Just raising
other
Mayberry.
people online who would literally go on fucking YouTube and Periscope rants about how people were dissing their film to
You mean Rian Johnson?
no, not Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson accepted what he was doing on that part.
No,
I
he
appreciate
didn't.
I appreciate what he did with all
No.
that.
Remember when people kept giving him shit? over the movie not being good. What did he come out and do? Made like some weird Twitter post of like 20 different messages of like creeping up on his book library and then pulling out a copy of, Jedi powers and saying, see, in your fucking canon it says this is good. He was like, bitch, we're not complaining about the Jedi powers. We're complaining that you made a
We can talk we've already talked multiple times about The Last Jedi, how you and I drastically
But
disagree
again,
about
how
that.
he handled it though.
Okay, fine. Ron Howard handled it plenty better than Rian Johnson did. I will give you that. So, God damn it.
Sorry, you're never going to win this one, Jason.
That's fine. I'll still win Tomorrowland argument, though.
Don't do it, Jason. We have the high ground.
Hey, I gotta imagine Brad Bird's gonna do amazing with Incredibles 2 because his last movie, Tomorrowland, was fantastic.
It'd be great if we get a third one.
I'll be great if... Yes, I know. You should look at my Lego Tron setup.
Bitch.
Yeah. Anyways, Solo was fun. Guys, go see it. Go see Deadpool 2. They both were great.
Support decent movies.
As we're wrapping up with this episode, let's get through a couple quick hits real quick. For some inexplicable reason, we already knew that there was going to be a reboot of the Spawn movie, but the main actor, Jamie Foxx.
I would rather they bring back Michael J. White again.
Michael J. White was great in Spawn in the first movie. Do we need to have Jamie Foxx try to do
he needs to prove he's tough.
a Jamie Foxxian take on this?
He needs to prove he's tough. Is that not what we got from the only really big downside from Baby Driver was him?
Oh no, he was probably the worst part of that movie. So, but
he needs to try to prove he's tough.
hate it. I'm not a fan.
He'll always be the guy pretending to be. You know what? You know who would make a better choice? Fucking Jaleel White man. Fucking Stefan Kell.
We'll get to him in a moment. What else we have here? Oh yeah, DreamWorks released a poster all of a sudden for How to Train Your Dragon 3, teasing a brand new world and featuring, what was this? Oh god, I can't remember what the is. Oh well.
Of who?
The
dragon's name is Toothless.
Toothless, yes. His type of his species of dragon, I forget. There was another one. Another Night Fury. Sorry, that's what it was. So this one's called How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. The synopsis describes Toothless being drawn away from an untamed, elusive mate. So Toothless is gonna get it on.
He's about to get his dick wet.
All right then. Were these any good? I saw like half of the first one.
The first one was decent. The second one was okay.
Uh-huh.
And I think this is the third one, no?
This is the third one.
Yeah, because the second one I saw bits of. I didn't technically finish it or watch all of it. It was literally after work one day. I was talking to a coworker. We went back to her place and she put it on and we were basically talking through the entire movie.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like I caught the bits that I caught. Cool.
And I'm already looking at this synopsis in full, and I'm like, this is you can cook cutter.
Synopsis
you
in
just
full.
follow that.
Bitch, it's 4 lines.
That's a synopsis.
What began as an unlikely friendship between an adolescent Viking and a fearsome Night Fury dragon has become an epic trilogy spanning their lives.
This is really becoming like a dating.
In this next chapter, Hiccup and Toothless finally discover their true destinies. The village chief is ruler of Berk alongside Astrid, and the dragon is leader of his own kind. As both ascend the darkest threat they've yet faced, as well as their appearance of a female Night Fury. The fuck? We'll test the bounds of their relationships like never before. The fuck?
You already know the entirety where there's gonna go with this.
It just sounds like, yo, Toothless, literally, I've been trying to bone this chick for the last 2 movies. I guess it's time for you to get yours.
And they go off and make babies.
Dragon babies.
And then for some reason we'll have Eddie Murphy's donkey show up and start talking and try to steal away the girl. I don't know. Yeah. Moving on. The owners, or the people who create Sesame Street, have decided to sue and are already lost the upcoming movie Happy Time Murders, which is basically what'd you say, Muppets in a murder mystery, but unofficial.
The poster for the movie made comments about this Sesame is their street or some shit like that.
The tagline for the movie is no Sesame, all street.
Yeah.
So they decided to sue them, saying that basically it was going to hurt their brand, affect their ability to provide like emotional support for children and whatnot. The judge looked at that and took one look and basically said, "No, you're wrong," and closed it.
I mean, when you have the tagline as "All Sesame, No Street," you're fucking asking to be sued.
Oh, yes. Yes. But, I mean, the whole history of this movie even being made has had a rough and rocky history to begin with.
Stars Melissa McCarthy, it's going to fail.
That's the problem. I've been waiting for this movie for about 6 years now. Watching it through its incarnations, the different script rewrites, what they're going to go with, how they're going to create these characters, what the universe is going to be like. All for this.
You know what they should just make a movie of?
Huh.
Greg the Bunny.
I miss Greg the Bunny.
I
used to have it on DVD.
Same as I.
Yeah.
But you met my buddy Boozy. He has it.
Yeah, I used to have it, then I had to sell because I think I had to make rent one year.
Aha.
Yeah, it happens. But this one, it still looks great, except for the fact it has Melissa McCarthy, which I can't stand.
It's not that I don't like her. There are people I like a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
But most things Melissa McCarthy does, they're not good.
Yeah, so. But I thought it was just funny that the fact that Sesame Street already tried to protect their IP, as they say, for this.
They should.
And of course, they lost in, like, record time, so. But this will come out sometime in the summer, so we'll have to see where this goes. Last but not least, James Marsden. He's been amazing in Westworld. I can't get enough of his in that series.
Bitch, he's delightful in anything.
That's true, he really is.
Because of him, I can say there's a movie that I enjoy that stars Katherine Heigl. 27 Dresses.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But anyways, so...
Don't make me be the weird one because I knew that.
Yes, you are the weird one.
Bitch, they sing Elton John in that movie.
Yes, I know.
It's delightful.
Yes. But anyway, so... What is he going to do with this recent boost in stardom? He's already had plenty of fans in stardom
Restar
out there.
Cyclops.
I mean, that is an option, but so
Steal Superman's girlfriend away. And be the parent to his illegitimate child because Superman's a terrible person. No?
Oh, God, I wish. Anyways. But no, his latest endeavor is actually, he announced that he is signed on to be the star, apparently, of the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog film.
Because it doesn't say what he's starring as, just that he's starring in it.
He's the star.
Oh, what if they pull an Alvin and the Chipmunks? What if he's like the Jason Lee? Like he finds a small anthropomorphic hedgehog and then raises him on fucking chili dogs and weird shit.
Go faster.
You know, like maybe he's like, oh yeah, I run marathons. Like that's my thing. I mean, come on.
Does he tell him to run around at the speed of sound?
No. What if he's like some douchey attorney and he's like, come on, man, you gotta go fast. That's how life works. Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
Oh God, it's gonna be horrible.
Oh, and I'm making go along drinking. Oh,
but this is also,
and you know I'm usually right.
Yes, I know you're very right about this because especially this is a live action / CG film. So Sonic and Friends are going to be CG while James Marsden is going to be live action in this.
The only way they can get me to see this in theaters is if they tell me Big the Cat is going to be in it.
Oh.
It's going to be sponsored by Wiener Schnitzel, man, I'm telling you.
There better be something.
Or Dairy Queen or some shit.
Oh, God. This is...
Trainwreck.
Oh, Jesus. A Trainwreck that we'll have to see
like
at
there's
least
Amy
once.
Schumer's career, and then there's like whatever this movie is going to be. Oh,
God. This
both
is...
going down in fire.
Yeah, we have no idea when this is coming out, but... oh, sorry. It says right there in the article. Movie due out in November 2019. Yeah, this is the thing.
The fact that the photo we have is from him in that weird
Hop movie.
Yeah, where he's basically raising the Easter Bunny or whatever the fuck that was.
I don't know.
Oh my God! Again, if it's exactly like that,
he's a down and out attorney. Then he's had one last shot at life.
No, like he's losing all of his relationships because he's moving too fast. You know what I mean? Like,
and Sonic teaches him how to slow down in life.
How to actually appreciate your friends and family and stuff like that. Like the tagline is gonna be something stupid like sometimes you just gotta slow down to go fast.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
You give me 2 bottles of whiskey and I probably could have crapped on a weekend.
Well, I already half down through one bottle right now, so.
I meant just for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Just
Oh,
crap out.
God.
Just
And,
watch a bunch of like reruns of BJ and the Bear and basically just make it exactly like that.
and on that
That's what I
fun
like to
note.
see. Fucking man and his monkey.
Oh, okay. Let's call it after that. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Already done with my antics.
Join us for more E3 antics and God knows what else is going to happen. So, for Geeks and Drinks, I'm Jason.
Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.